Welcome, everyone, and thank you immensely for joining us today. This isn't a session about fleeting trends, nor will we be discussing superficial motivation hacks or clever time tricks. Instead, we're diving deep into the essence of your life, the single irreplaceable journey you've been given, and exploring how you can intentionally and wisely spend it before opportunities slip away forever. The undeniable truth is that most individuals become so engrossed in merely surviving each day that they inadvertently forget a profound reality. They are quietly, steadily spending their entire existence, one moment at a time. Let me pose a personal question to you. Have you ever glanced at the clock, suddenly realizing it's already evening, and felt a jolt of bewilderment, wondering, where did the entire day go? Now, amplify that sensation. Imagine that profound feeling of loss, but this time, it's not just a day that has vanished. It's an entire decade. Here's a startling fact that few people ever truly contemplate. The average human being lives for approximately 30,000 days. Not a grand 90 years. Not an eternity. Just 30,000 precious days. If you're 25 years old, you've already utilized well over 9,000 of those days. If you've reached 40, you've spent 14,600 days. And if you're 60, you've journeyed past 21,000 days. Now genuinely reflect. How many of those days do you distinctly remember? How many truly felt like they belonged to you, filled with your authentic self? How many resonated with deep meaning? How many genuinely made you feel alive? The unfortunate reality is that most people don't even register how swiftly life is passing, until one day they look back, and all that floods their being is a profound sense of regret. They often utter phrases like, "I should have seized that opportunity when I had the chance. I should have expressed my true feelings. I should have devoted more quality time to my parents. I should have pursued my dreams instead of conforming to everyone else's expectations." But by that point, the sands of time have run out. It's simply too late. This is precisely why I created this video, to help you awaken to a powerful realization. You don't necessarily need more time. What you truly need is to learn how to spend the time you have more effectively, more intentionally. Today, I'll reveal 10 of the most potent life strategies designed to help you invest your time, your energy, your invaluable attention, and your very heart in the smartest, deepest, and most beautifully fulfilling ways possible. These insights aren't derived from abstract theories, but from the raw canvas of reality, from hard-won truths, from the depths of human psychology, and from lived experience. And yes, for those of you on a journey to master English, this video will also enrich your vocabulary, deepen your understanding of emotional expression, enhance your clarity, and immerse you in authentic, real spoken language. So you're not merely learning the art of living wisely, you're simultaneously learning to communicate with powerful fluency and purpose. This isn't just English practice, it's fluency imbued with a profound mission. So, let's begin. Strategy 1. Time psychology. Let me ask you something profoundly personal. Do you vividly recall how long your school summer holidays seemed to stretch on forever when you were a child? Those 2 months often felt like an entire year, didn't they? Now juxtapose that with your last 2 months as an adult. Did they feel anywhere near as long? Likely not. They probably vanished in what felt like the blink of an eye. Why this stark difference? Because while the clock's objective measurement of time remains constant, our subjective experience of time shifts dramatically. Herein lies the profound truth. Time is deeply psychological. It's not truly about the ticking of clocks or the pages of calendars. It's fundamentally about how your unique brain perceives and processes your experiences. When life feels novel, exciting, and wonderfully unpredictable, your brain becomes highly engaged, paying rapt attention to every detail. Conversely, when life becomes repetitive, boring, and automatic, your brain subtly slips into a kind of sleep mode. This is precisely why your childhood seemed to unfold in slow motion. You were learning something new every single day. You were encountering sights and sounds for the very first time, You were fully, vibrantly present in each moment. But now, for many, the routine is different. You wake up, immediately check your phone, eat the same breakfast, commute to the same job, scroll social media during breaks, watch Netflix at night, then repeat the entire cycle. You're no longer truly living. You're simply replaying a recorded loop. And the more you exist on autopilot, the faster time seems to evaporate, often without you even noticing its swift departure. Consider two individuals. Person A wakes up at 7 o'clock a.m. every day, consumes the same breakfast, commutes to the same job, scrolls mindlessly through social media during breaks, and watches Netflix every night, repeating this pattern for 5 consecutive years. Person B wakes up at 6 a.m., dedicates 30 minutes to learning Spanish, reads a new book each month, experiments with fresh cooking recipes, travels to a new destination once a year, actively builds a side business in the evenings, regularly meets new and interesting people, and maintains a reflective journal. Both individuals are the same age. Both have lived through the same 5 years. Yet one feels distinctly older, perpetually tired, and emotionally numb. The other, however, feels vibrantly alive, endlessly curious, and genuinely inspired. Why such a stark contrast? Because the second person is actively stretching their perception of time through continuous new experiences, intentional growth, and purposeful living. The first person, in contrast, is shrinking their experience of time through monotonous repetition, rigid routine, and an unconscious existence. The lesson here is crystal clear. If you aspire for your life to feel rich, expansive, and deeply meaningful, you must cease simply repeating and consciously start living. Your brain registers repeated days almost like identical copies, causing your life to morph into one undifferentiated blur. But when you actively choose to do something new, something bold, something genuinely different, your brain diligently records that day. It transforms into a distinct memory. It becomes your moment, etched in your mind. How can you apply this transformative principle? Embrace novelty weekly. Commit to doing one new thing every single week. It could be visiting an unfamiliar place, striking up a conversation with someone new, or delving into a fresh idea. Practice daily presence. Dedicate at least one moment each day to being fully, consciously present. Perhaps sip your tea slowly, truly savoring each drop. Gaze at the sunset with undivided attention. Or listen to someone with your complete, unwavering focus. Track time emotionally. Begin to track your time not merely by logical chronology, but by emotional resonance. Each night, ask yourself, what did I do today that truly made me feel alive? If the answer is consistently nothing, then you are spending your life, but you are not genuinely living it. You don't necessarily need more years added to your life. What you need is more presence within the years you already possess. Time is not money. Time is life itself, and life is only truly lived when you are consciously noticing it. Strategy 2. Priority management. You don't need more time in your day. You need to stop squandering the time you do have on the wrong things. Let's confront a fundamental, often uncomfortable truth. You don't inherently have a time problem. You have a priority problem. Many people will lament, I just don't have enough time to exercise, or I don't have time to learn English, or I can't find time to read, rest, or work on my personal goals. Yet if I were to ask, what's the very first thing you do after waking up each morning? A significant number would candidly respond, check my phone. If you consistently dedicate 2 hours a day to scrolling through endless feeds, yet simultaneously claim you lack the time to invest in improving your life, then the core issue isn't a shortage of minutes. The issue is what you are consciously or unconsciously choosing to prioritize. Here's the stark reality. You're rarely choosing between what's unequivocally good and what's overtly bad. More often, you're making a choice between what feels easy and gratifying right now versus what is genuinely important and foundational for your future. Imagine this vivid scenario. Your brain awakens each morning functioning much like a diligent manager. You are allocated an attention budget of 100 attention points for the day. This is your finite energy reserve. Now let's observe how most people tend to spend it. 20 points, consumed by endlessly replaying and overthinking yesterday's problems. 15 points, dedicated to mindlessly scrolling through the curated lives of other people on social media. 10 points, wasted engaging in pointless arguments with strangers online. 10 points, spent on obligations and activities they don't genuinely care about. 20 points, sacrificed trying to please people they don't even particularly like. 10 points, dissipated through constant self-doubt and internal criticism. 5 points, lost to lingering regrets about past decisions. 5 points, scattered by various random and unproductive distractions. What's left? Mere 5 points, a tiny fraction, for their dreams, their health, or their personal growth. This isn't a time shortage. It's a catastrophic priority collapse. Consider another analogy. Imagine you have a small, cherished garden. Every single day, you are given just one bucket of precious water. Now picture yourself pouring that water onto the barren rocks outside your garden, accidentally spilling some onto the pavement, or even playfully tossing a bit into the air just for amusement. Then at the end of the day, you observe your wilting, dying flowers within the garden and exclaim, "I don't have enough water." This, tragically, is how many people live their lives. They generously give their invaluable time, vital energy, and focused attention to things that simply don't cultivate any meaningful growth. And then they wonder and complain why their dreams, their health, and their inner peace are slowly withering away. You don't require more buckets of water. You simply need to aim better, to direct your resources with precision. People often fail to realize this critical distinction until it's irreversibly too late. You find yourself saying yes to far too many requests and obligations, and soon you discover you're living a life that scarcely resembles your own desires anymore. You attend social gatherings you don't genuinely enjoy, accept job responsibilities you secretly despise, reply to texts you couldn't care less about, watch television shows that offer no real pleasure, and then paradoxically declare, "I'm too busy to work on myself." No, you're not necessarily busy. You are simply misaligned. Here's the pivotal lesson to grasp. Every single day, you are actively designing your future. This future is not shaped by the grand things you dream of doing, but by the tangible choices you actually make in the present moment. Do you desire a healthy, vibrant body? That is a cumulative result of daily choices. Do you seek genuine peace of mind? That requires establishing daily boundaries. Do you wish to speak English fluently and confidently? That demands daily listening and dedicated practice. Life, in its profound truth, is not primarily shaped by monumental events. It is meticulously sculpted by the small, consistent, and repeated actions you take. Here's how you can powerfully take back control of your priorities, starting today. Step 1. The 3-list exercise. Grab a piece of paper and divide it into 3 distinct columns. A. Things I say are important. List your stated values and priorities. Examples: family, health, personal growth, learning English. B. Things I actually spend time on. For one day, meticulously track how you spend your time. Be brutally honest with yourself. C. What needs to change. Identify what requires more of your time and what should be decisively cut. This exercise will serve as a profound eye-opener. Many people claim their family is their #1 priority, yet they spend more time interacting with strangers on the internet than with their own children. Many assert that health is paramount, yet they consume unhealthy food daily. Many express a desire for growth, but opt to scroll through memes instead of engaging with enriching books. Do not deceive yourself. Real life, genuine progress, truly begins when you are unflinchingly honest with your present reality. Step 2. Daily life design questions. Each morning, before the day fully unfolds, ask yourself these 3 critical questions. What are my top 3 absolute priorities for today? If this were truly my last day on Earth, how would I choose to spend it? What current activity or obligation no longer deserves my valuable time and energy? Consistently asking these simple yet potent questions can prevent you from passively wasting months, even years of your precious life. Step 3. Make time for what makes you stronger. Adopt this fundamental rule for your daily decisions. If it builds your future, consciously make time for it. If it drains your soul, decisively remove it from your life. If it feels urgent but lacks true importance, learn to pause and reevaluate. If it genuinely aligns with the person your future self aspires to be, commit to doing it now. This is the blueprint for constructing a life that is truly wise, deeply focused, and profoundly free. One day, inevitably, you will discover you have no time left. And on that day, your deepest wish won't be for more scrolling, more idle gossip, or more trivial tasks. Instead, you will yearn that you had loved more, created more, laughed more, learned more, and simply lived more fully. So, do not permit the illusion of busyness to steal the essence of your life. Instead, allow your carefully chosen priorities to intentionally shape it. Strategy 3. Relationship dynamics. Let's initiate this discussion with a pivotal question. If your time is synonymous with your life, then the individuals with whom you choose to spend that time will profoundly determine who you ultimately become. Yet most people seldom pause to critically ask themselves, are the people in my immediate circle genuinely helping me live a better, more fulfilling life? Or are they merely keeping me perpetually busy and distracted? Many find themselves trapped in superficial friendships, emotionally draining relationships, and toxic company, not out of genuine desire, but often out of a profound fear of being alone. Here's an undeniable truth. You are, to a significant extent, the average of the 5 people with whom you spend the most significant amount of your time. If you constantly associate with gossipers, you will inevitably find yourself engaging in idle, often negative chatter. If you surround yourself with perpetual doubters, you risk extinguishing the flame of your own ambitious dreams. If you spend your days with chronic victims, you will slowly forget your own inherent power and agency. However, if you actively choose to sit with deep thinkers, audacious dreamers, and relentless doers, you will find yourself rising, evolving, and growing without even fully realizing the transformative shift taking place. This is precisely why safeguarding your personal relationship space is not merely an emotional imperative. It is both a spiritual and a highly strategic decision. Imagine your mind as a meticulously cultivated, beautiful garden. Within this garden, you are nurturing precious virtues like peace, unwavering confidence, genuine kindness, and boundless ambition. Now envision someone entering this sacred space every single day, deliberately stepping on your delicate plants, carelessly throwing trash onto your vibrant flowers, derisively laughing at your efforts and progress, and constantly telling you that your garden will never truly flourish. Would you consciously permit them to remain within your garden? And yet, in the tapestry of real life, you often allow individuals to walk right into the garden of your heart and inflict precisely the same damage. You generously allocate your invaluable time to people who constantly judge you, unfeelingly use you, and relentlessly drain your energy, and then you express bewilderment when you don't feel happy. Happiness is not exclusively an internal state. It is profoundly relational. Your immediate environment and the people within it exert a significant influence on your personal energy and well-being. Many individuals are enmeshed in relationships that inadvertently cost them their very future. They may date someone who actively disrespects their desire for personal growth, leading them to unconsciously shrink their authentic selves. They retain friends who openly scoff at their grand dreams, causing them to cease dreaming altogether. They live in constant fear of disappointing others, resulting in them disappointing themselves, day after exhausting day. This is not loyalty. This is a profound act of self-abandonment. Now, let's consider the transformative path forward. If you are truly committed to spending your life wisely, then purposefully choose to spend it with people who consistently speak truth to you with compassion, who genuinely desire the absolute best for your journey. Surround yourself with those who enthusiastically celebrate your victories, rather than competing with them, and who gently remind you of your true worth and potential whenever you momentarily forget. Because in the ultimate analysis, your life will not be remembered by the sheer number of followers you amassed on social media, but by the depth and authenticity of the real connections you forged. So, what tangible actions can you take? Conduct a thorough audit of your circle. Honestly ask yourself these piercing questions. Who consistently lifts my spirits and energy? Who repeatedly drains me emotionally? Who genuinely respects my precious time, vital energy, and personal space? Be unflinchingly honest with your answers. Remember, profound silence is infinitely better than enduring noisy disrespect. Communicate or cut. If someone is causing you genuine pain or distress, articulate your feelings clearly and assertively, but do so only once. If nothing changes after that candid conversation, do not stoop to begging or pleading. You owe no one the sacrifice of your inner peace. Actively build new circles. Seek out and connect with individuals who are sincerely walking a similar path of growth and purpose. Even if this journey begins online, and even if it initially feels awkward or unfamiliar, you absolutely deserve to be surrounded by energy that cultivates and grows you, rather than one that diminishes or dims your light. Your time is your life itself, and if someone consistently fails to respect your time, they simply do not merit a place in your life. Therefore, do not squander your invaluable life with people who consistently fail to truly see, appreciate, or value you. Do not waste your precious water trying to nurture dead plants. Love, in its truest form, should feel like a warm, safe home, never like a relentless war. Friendship should provide a sanctuary of safety, not a source of constant tension. And family, ideally, should be a wellspring of unwavering support, not an oppressive burden. Protect your sacred space with vigilance, because it is not merely your heart you are safeguarding. It is the entire landscape of your future. Strategy 4. Health and vitality. Let me ask you something profoundly significant. What is the true purpose of meticulously building a stellar career? Of falling deeply in love? Of tirelessly achieving success? If your physical body is too tired, too sick, or too broken to truly savor and enjoy any of it, most people navigate through life in a perpetual state of exhaustion, yet they rarely pause to genuinely inquire, why am I always so profoundly tired? You likely dedicate more conscious care to your phone battery than to your own biological system. You meticulously charge your phone multiple times a day, yet you neglect to hydrate your body sufficiently. You consume processed junk food. You routinely sleep at 3 a.m., and then you wonder why you consistently feel lost, irritable, sad, or lazy. Your body is not simply a machine to be driven into the ground. It is your sacred home, and your precious mind, your very consciousness, resides within it. When you chronically ignore your health, you are systematically and slowly dismantling your capacity to live a full, vibrant, and well-enjoyed life. Imagine your body as a car, a truly unique model. You are granted this one specific vehicle for your entire lifetime. There are no replacements, no second models, no opportunities to upgrade later. Now picture never changing the oil in this car. You consistently fill its tank with the absolute cheapest, lowest grade fuel. You drive it relentlessly for 20 hours every single day, ignoring every single warning light that flashes on the dashboard. You perpetually say, I'll get around to fixing it later. How long, realistically, do you believe that car will continue to function? Now deeply understand that this is precisely what millions of people are doing to their own bodies. The common misconception is this: people often think, I'll start prioritizing my health after I finish this big project. Or, I'll finally get proper sleep once I achieve financial success. Or, I'll fix my body later. But here's the harsh truth. Later almost always morphs into never. And by the time you are finally compelled to pay attention, you've already paid a devastating price, often with irreversible damage. This brings us to the immense power of vitality. Energy is your genuine wealth, your most critical asset. Without a robust supply of it, even the most joyous and triumphant moments in life will feel heavy, burdensome, and unfulfilling. When your body is strong, adequately nourished, and well-rested, you possess the mental clarity to think incisively. You speak with an undeniable confidence that commands attention. You walk into any room with a powerful magnetic presence. You naturally attract better, more supportive people into your life. And crucially, you feel an intrinsic excitement, a profound eagerness to simply live each day. Taking care of your physical body is not merely about achieving superficial six-packs or curating an Instagram-perfect physique. It is about deeply respecting the intricate, miraculous engine that actively drives and sustains all your dreams and aspirations. How can you begin this vital journey, even if you consider yourself a complete beginner? Prioritize sleep. Start with the foundational element of sleep. Sleep is not a luxury or a sign of laziness. It is the essential process through which your brain meticulously repairs, recharges, and consolidates. 8 hours of restorative sleep will accomplish infinitely more for your mental well-being and cognitive function than 8 hours spent mindlessly consuming Netflix ever will. Optimize one meal a day. You don't need to commit to an entire restrictive diet immediately. Simply focus on making one meal each day unequivocally healthy and nourishing. Replace processed junk with something that genuinely makes you feel vibrant and alive, rather than sluggish and sleepy. Engage in daily movement. Incorporate movement into your daily routine. Walk, stretch, dance, even actively clean your living space. Movement is not solely for achieving peak physical fitness. It is profoundly for mental and physical freedom. Guard your mental energy. Be fiercely protective of your mental space. Unfollow anything that consistently disturbs your peace or triggers negative emotions. Delete content or apps that consistently destroy your mood. Choose periods of calming silence over incessant noise. Your mental serenity is an integral component of your overall health, too. The body you choose to ignore today will inevitably become the very reason you are unable to fully enjoy your life tomorrow. Do not wait for a stark warning from a doctor to compel you into action. Do not wait for debilitating pain to finally humble you into respecting your physical vessel. Honor and respect your body before it is forced to beg for your attention through illness or breakdown. Because you don't merely live in your body, you live through it. And when you feel healthy, truly healthy, you will feel absolutely unstoppable. Strategy 5. Career and purpose. Let's begin this exploration with a quiet yet piercing question. What truly motivates you to wake up each morning? Is it solely the pursuit of a paycheck? Is it driven by familial expectations or societal pressure? Is it merely the instinct for survival? Or is it ignited by a profound sense of purpose? Because here's the unvarnished truth. Most people don't genuinely despise work itself. What they despise is toiling away at tasks and objectives that hold no intrinsic meaning or mattering to them. They wake up feeling profoundly tired, not necessarily due to the sheer number of hours they labor, but because of a palpable absence of meaning and personal connection in their efforts. Let me be unequivocally honest with you. You were not brought into this world merely to pay bills, respond to an endless stream of emails, passively obey orders, endure soul-crushing traffic, and ultimately, to die. That, my friends, is not a life. It is a slow, agonizing funeral. You were born endowed with unique ideas, distinctive gifts, innate talents, and specific dreams that are exclusively yours, possessions that no one else on this planet shares. And if you choose to bury these invaluable aspects of yourself under the weight of a job that systematically kills your spirit every single day, you are not truly working. You are, in essence, slowly disappearing. Consider the illustrative story of a man named David. He is 45 years old, possesses a seemingly good job, A comfortable house, 2 children, and a respectable car. Yet every single morning, he sits in his vehicle outside his office building for a full 10 minutes, battling a visceral sense of nausea, a profound dread at the thought of walking into that building. He isn't subjected to abuse at work, nor is he financially impoverished, but he is undeniably deeply unfulfilled. He once harbored dreams of becoming a celebrated writer. He once found solace and joy in music. He once yearned to launch his own innovative business, but he never dared to try. He always rationalized, not now, perhaps later when the time is truly right. Now, at 45, those vibrant dreams are slowly rotting within him, like forgotten ghosts haunting his days. This is not a fictional tale. This is the silent, ongoing reality for millions of people right now. The truth is, money undeniably matters. It provides security, options, and comfort, but it is fundamentally not enough. A wealthy individual devoid of purpose will still experience a profound sense of emptiness. Conversely, a person driven by genuine passion, even if they begin with meager resources and humble beginnings, will feel intensely alive, invigorated by their pursuit. You are not required to abruptly quit your current job today. You don't need to act recklessly or impulsively, but you absolutely must begin to ask yourself, am I actively building something that truly matters to me? Or am I merely surviving to fulfill the expectations and dreams of others? Because every single day you dedicate to building someone else's dream is, quite literally, a day irrevocably lost from building your own unique legacy. Here are some practical steps you can take to realign your career with your deeper purpose. 1. Side project. You don't need to abandon your current employment right away, but you can certainly commit to spending 30 minutes each day on something that genuinely ignites your spirit and makes you feel alive. Write, record, learn a new skill, or create something meaningful. While your primary job sustains your financial well-being, your side project holds the potential to one day nourish your ultimate freedom. 2. Redefine success for yourself. Consciously disregard the world's conventional definitions of success, the arbitrary benchmarks set by society. Instead, sincerely ask yourself, what kind of life would genuinely fill me with pride if I were to die tomorrow? That, and only that, is your authentic personal success goal. 3. Utilize your evenings with purpose. Most people unwittingly squander their evenings on passive scrolling and other trivial distractions. However, your evenings are, in fact, your secret weapon, your untapped reservoir of potential. Even just 1 hour of focused, purposeful effort each night accumulates to 365 invaluable hours over a year, more than enough time to fundamentally transform everything. Do not permit the prevailing narrative of the world to convince you that your only inherent value lies in your productivity. You are far more than a mere machine. You are an ingenious creator, a profound soul, a deep thinker, a purposeful builder. Therefore, do not simply work for mere survival. Work for your enduring legacy. You are not obligated to revolutionize your entire life today. You are absolutely compelled to stop ignoring that persistent, quiet voice within you that whispers, "There's something more." That voice, I assure you, is unequivocally correct. There is something more. Strategy 6. Emotional intelligence. You must master your emotions, or your emotions will inevitably master your entire life. Let me pose a question that resonates with universal experience. Have you ever found your entire day utterly derailed and ruined simply by a single negative thought, an offhand comment, or a fleeting, painful memory? Of course you have. We all have, countless times. This pervasive phenomenon occurs because most people never acquire the single most critical skill that could fundamentally alter the trajectory of their lives: emotional intelligence. So, what exactly is emotional intelligence? It's not about maintaining a perpetual state of calm at all times. It's certainly not about donning a facade or pretending to be invulnerable or strong when you're not. True emotional intelligence is about cultivating the profound ability to fully feel your emotions, to acknowledge their presence and intensity, without becoming completely submerged or drowned by them. It's about learning the crucial distinction of how to respond thoughtfully instead of merely reacting impulsively. It's about developing the inner fortitude to maintain your composure and control, even when the external world around you feels chaotic and entirely out of control. Because here's the undeniable truth. Emotions are incredibly powerful forces, and if you lack the understanding and tools to manage them effectively, they will, without question, manage you. Imagine the story of a man named Leo. He awakens one morning feeling utterly joyful. It's a beautiful, sunny day, and he has exciting plans to meet a cherished friend. A genuine smile graces his face. Then he opens his phone and sees a single venomous message. "You're such a joke, man. You think you're successful? You're not even close." He has no idea who sent it, but the words sink deep. He reads it over and over, perhaps 10 times. And suddenly, his entire day unravels. He cancels his meeting. He loses his appetite. He descends into a spiral of relentless overthinking. He feels an overwhelming sadness. He feels like completely giving up. Now here's the tragedy of this scenario. It wasn't the message itself that ultimately ruined Leo's day. It was his reaction to it. He inadvertently granted one anonymous comment from a stranger the immense power to utterly destroy his entire energy, his peace, and his plans. This, sadly, is how countless people live. They become angry too swiftly, offended too easily, sad too quickly, and perhaps most detrimentally, they cling to pain for far, far too long. Emotional intelligence means you consciously pause before allowing yourself to react. You take a breath and sincerely ask yourself, is this particular emotion, this thought, this situation, truly worth sacrificing my precious peace for? You learn to stop permitting fleeting, temporary emotions to inflict permanent damage on your relationships, your decisions, and your well-being. It means you strive to deeply understand yourself, your triggers, your patterns, your needs, before attempting to control or influence others. Because here's a liberating secret. No one can truly control you emotionally unless you consciously grant them that explicit permission. How can you actively build and strengthen your emotional intelligence? Name your emotions. Don't simply say, "I feel bad." Instead, be specific. Articulate, "I feel disappointed," or "I feel ignored." Precisely naming the emotion provides you with a sense of clarity and power over it, rather than being engulfed by an amorphous feeling. Implement the 10-second rule. When you feel a surge of anger, frustration, or any intense emotion, consciously wait for 10 full seconds before you speak or act. Take a deep breath. This small pause can be a lifesaver, potentially preserving a valued relationship, preventing a regrettable decision, or sparing you a lifetime of remorse. Utilize pain as a teacher. Don't merely suffer through emotional pain. Instead, approach it with curiosity and ask, what is this emotion, this difficult experience attempting to teach me? Pain, when viewed through this lens, transforms from a punishment into a valuable guide, offering profound insights. Protect your inner peace. If a particular person, situation, or online content consistently costs you your daily peace, take decisive action. Block it, mute it, or remove yourself from it entirely. Understand that peace is not a weakness. Peace is, in fact, an incredible source of inner strength and power. You will, without a doubt, experience hurt. You will be misunderstood. You will inevitably face loss, betrayal, fear, and profound pain throughout your life. But how you choose to respond to those inevitable moments will ultimately determine the overall quality and richness of your existence. You cannot control the weather, but you can always choose to carry an umbrella. That, in essence, is what emotional intelligence embodies. It is not about ignoring or suppressing your feelings. It is about learning how to wisely lead and guide them. Strategy 7. Financial wisdom. Unlock your freedom. not just for things that impress people you don't even truly like or value. Let's start with a rather blunt and uncomfortable truth. Most people aren't financially struggling because they don't earn enough. Instead, their struggles stem from a fundamental lack of understanding about how to approach and manage money. They tirelessly chase after wealth, but the moment they acquire it, they squander it on making themselves appear rich, rather than investing it in pursuits that would genuinely set them free. They acquire possessions they don't actually need, using money they often don't truly have, all in an effort to impress individuals who, quite frankly, don't even care. And then, they find themselves questioning, why do I still feel poor, even with all these things? Money isn't merely about affording a certain lifestyle. It's profoundly about freedom. It represents the freedom to rest when you need it, the freedom to distance yourself from toxic individuals, the freedom to confidently say no to draining requests, and the freedom to travel, extend help to others, or dedicate yourself to building something genuinely meaningful. Yet far too many people inadvertently trade their precious freedom for the fleeting allure of temporary status. Consider two contrasting individuals. Person A earns a substantial $5,000 each month. They choose to rent a lavish apartment, own the latest smartphone, dine out at restaurants 5 times a week, and regularly purchase expensive designer shoes. They reside in a bustling, high-cost city, yet despite their seemingly successful outward appearance, they have precisely zero savings. This person lives in a constant state of stress. Why? Because while they might project an image of success, they are perpetually one unexpected emergency away from complete financial collapse. They are not truly free. They are merely working for bare survival, hidden behind a carefully constructed facade. Person B, on the other hand, earns $3,000 a month. They embrace a modest lifestyle, cook most of their meals at home, and diligently save 20% of every paycheck. They wisely invest in developing new skills and consistently live well within their means. As a result, they exude a quiet calm. They might not outwardly look rich, but they are steadily building a foundation of authentic freedom. Because genuine wealth isn't solely defined by money, it's fundamentally about achieving peace of mind. Here's a crucial insight. Money is deeply emotional. People often spend not just for utility, but to feel powerful, accepted, admired, or validated. However, the act of buying things can never truly fill an emotional void. This explains why some individuals can earn more than they ever dreamed possible, yet still feel impoverished. They are metaphorically leaking their energy through a relentless addiction to lifestyle consumption. Instead of just ordinary savings, cultivate a freedom fund. Don't save simply to buy another material item. Save with the explicit intention of buying back your life. One day, that accumulated money could empower you to leave a job you despise or grant you the time, perhaps 6 months, to fully dedicate yourself to building your dream. Your freedom fund is synonymous with peace of mind. Master these 3 foundational rules. 1. Earn actively, whether through a job or providing a valuable service. 2. Save consistently. Even if they are small amounts, consistency is key. 3. Grow smartly. Invest in developing new skills, acquiring valuable knowledge, and harnessing the power of compounding returns. Even if your income is modest, if you commit to saving and growing your resources wisely, you will ultimately surpass those who earn 10 times more but lack this discipline. Actively avoid status traps. Every time you feel that powerful urge to purchase something merely to look successful, pause and ask yourself, will this truly make me rich, or will it just create the illusion of being rich? Only then should you make your decision. Direct your spending towards what truly enriches your life. Invest in books, not just fleeting brands. Prioritize your health, not marketing hype. Acquire valuable skills, rather than accumulating shiny, transient objects. Spend on cultivating your freedom, not on chasing more followers. Don't fall victim to the world's deceptive narratives. You don't need to look rich. What you truly need is to feel free. Stop chasing money as if it were your tyrannical master. Instead, begin managing it intelligently as a powerful tool at your disposal. Because at the end of your life, the brand labels on your clothes will hold no significance. What will matter profoundly is whether you had the precious time and liberty to truly live. And that, precisely, is the unparalleled gift financial wisdom bestows upon you. Time, peace, and personal power. Strategy 8. Learning and growth. If you're not actively growing, you are, by definition, slowly withering away. And what's most alarming is that many people don't even recognize it happening. Let me share a stark reality. The human brain was never designed to be content with doing nothing. Its very essence is built for expansion, exploration, questioning, creation, and continuous growth. Yet, tragically, after completing school or college, most people halt their learning journey. They stop reading. They cease asking probing questions. Their innate curiosity dwindles. They stop discovering new things. They gradually settle into a deceptive sense of comfort, and over time, that comfort invariably transforms into a confining trap. Here's what many individuals fail to grasp. Your brain functions much like a muscle. If you stop engaging it, challenging it, and exercising it, it will inevitably shrink. This is precisely why people often feel stuck, why life can begin to feel utterly boring, and why days can blur into weeks and years without much genuine joy or fulfillment. It's not because life itself is inherently meaningless, but rather because you have ceased growing within it. Imagine a young tree. You plant it in a small pot. Initially, it grows rapidly. It shoots upwards, sprouts vibrant new leaves, and develops strong branches. Initially, it grows rapidly. It shoots upwards, sprouts vibrant new leaves, and develops strong branches. But one day, its growth abruptly ceases. It's not because the tree has become lazy or because it's somehow broken. It's because the pot itself has become too small. Its roots have run out of space to expand. The tree is inherently ready for more, but its container is simply too limited. That analogy perfectly describes your life. When you cease learning, you become like that confined tree. You were inherently made to grow, to expand your understanding and capabilities. But if you fail to consistently expand your mind, you inevitably become trapped within a smaller, unfulfilled version of yourself. So, how can you cultivate daily growth, even when juggling a demanding life? Read 1 page a day. You don't need to dedicate 2 hours. Even absorbing a single powerful paragraph can shift your perspective and change the trajectory of your life. Think of books as portable vessels of concentrated wisdom. Learn from life itself, not just formal schooling. Observe how people behave. Introspectively study your own habits and reactions. Reignite that childlike wonder and relentlessly ask, why? Every single moment offers a potential lesson if you simply pay attention. Engage in conversations that stretch you. Seek out and talk to people who are demonstrably smarter or more experienced than you. Do this not to impress them, but with the genuine intention to absorb their insights and perspectives. Ask challenging questions. Why do I believe what I believe? What outdated ideas or beliefs do I need to unlearn? What skill, if I cultivated it today, would my future self thank me for? True growth doesn't primarily come from having all the answers. It arises from the courage and discipline to ask the right questions. You don't truly grow old when your chronological age increases. You grow old the moment your curiosity begins to fade and ultimately dies. Stay perpetually hungry for new ideas. Remain deeply thirsty for deeper understanding. And always stay just foolish enough to bravely try something completely new. Because the very day you stop learning is the day you inevitably begin to disappear. Therefore, if you aspire to live a life that feels perpetually fresh, deeply meaningful, and truly wise, commit to continuous growth. Not for the sake of academic achievement, not for external applause, but for the profound nourishment of your very soul. Strategy 9. Life design. You were not put on this earth to simply find a life. You were inherently meant to build one. Let's begin with a question that for many deeply resonates and can even break them inside. Are you living the life you consciously chose? Or are you simply living the one that merely happened to you? Because the uncomfortable truth is, most people don't truly live. They simply react. They mindlessly do what others around them are doing. They passively follow what society expects of them. They accept whatever life throws their way without much agency. And then, one day, they awaken with a jolt, realizing they are living a life that feels like it belongs entirely to someone else. Here's the painful reality. If you don't actively design your own life, rest assured, someone else will design it for you. And it's highly probable you won't particularly like their plan. Their default blueprint often includes working a mundane 9-to-5 job for 40 years, perpetually living paycheck to paycheck, constantly striving to please others, neglecting your true passions, sacrificing your physical and mental health, and ultimately dying with a trove of unfulfilled dreams still locked inside you. That is the widely accepted yet deeply unfulfilling default setting. That is precisely what happens when you relinquish control and fail to take ownership. Imagine for a moment waking up every day in a house that you had absolutely no hand in choosing. You didn't select the paint colors. You didn't pick out any of the furniture. The food stocked in the refrigerator isn't what you enjoy. The clothes hanging in the closet don't fit your style or even your body. The walls are adorned with pictures of complete strangers. And every single day, someone else dictates what you should do, when you should do it, and how. Now here's the truly painful realization. That is exactly how most people are living their lives. A life meticulously built by others, with virtually no trace of their own unique self or desires within it. The transformative shift occurs when you stop asking, "What should I do?" and begin asking, "What kind of life do I truly want to live?" It's when you cease merely following the well-trodden path and bravely begin creating your own. And no, you absolutely do not need vast sums of money, external permission, or perfectly ideal conditions to embark on this journey. All you fundamentally need are crystal clear clarity and unwavering commitment. So, how do you begin to design your life? Write down your ideal day. For now, set aside grand, long-term goals. Simply ask yourself, if I could design one single perfect day, exactly what would it look like? What time would you wake up? What actions would you take immediately after opening your eyes? What kind of work would you engage in? Who would you choose to converse with? What kind of food would you eat? How would you feel throughout the day? How would you ultimately bring your ideal day to a close? This powerful exercise will illuminate the kind of life you genuinely desire, not merely the one society has programmed you to believe you want. Create life buckets. Segment your life into 5 essential areas or buckets: health, relationships, work purpose, money freedom, and growth mindset. Then introspectively ask yourself, if this were a video game, how full is each of these buckets right now? Score each one from 1 to 10. This exercise will provide you with an invaluable map showing you precisely where you currently stand and which areas of your life are most in need of your focused love and attention. Start designing your weeks like a master builder. Most people treat time as if it were fine sand, allowing it to helplessly slip through their fingers. Life designers, however, perceive time as solid bricks. They deliberately build with it. Begin planning your weeks with the deliberate artistry of a creative visionary. Carve out dedicated time for your health. Schedule time for learning. Allocate time for nurturing your relationships. Designate periods for quiet reflection. And, critically, set aside time for actively building your dreams. If you don't consciously plan for these essential elements, the relentless demands of the world will inevitably steal that time from you. Remove what fundamentally doesn't fit your design. If you were meticulously crafting your dream home, would you permit random, unwanted furniture to be arbitrarily dumped into it? Absolutely not. So why then do you allow toxic people, unproductive habits, and unwelcome pressures to permeate the carefully considered design of your life. Start practicing the powerful art of saying no. Begin actively clearing out unnecessary space, both physical and mental. Start deeply respecting your own inner architect. Your life is not a prefabricated house you merely walked into. It is a vast, expansive canvas that remains largely blank, and your daily actions are the very paint you use to fill it. Stop passively waiting for someone else to draw it for you. Pick up the brush yourself and start consciously building a life that vividly reflects the depths of your soul, rather than being dictated by your fears. You have but one precious life. Ensure with every fiber of your being that it is the one you were truly meant to live. Strategy 10. Personal energy. Let's conclude this exploration of wisdom with perhaps the most profoundly ignored truth of all. Your personal energy is, without question, your most important currency. It surpasses your time, your money, and even your innate talents in significance. Because when your energy reserves are depleted and running low, you are simply unable to think clearly, to love deeply, to build powerfully, or to live fully and vibrantly. And the world, regrettably, is teeming with countless things constantly vying to drain you. Incessant notifications, pervasive negativity, individuals who perpetually complain, the debilitating cycle of overthinking, unhealthy food choices, toxic social comparison, and crippling self-doubt. If you fail to consciously protect your energy, you will inevitably spend your entire life feeling inexplicably tired, without ever truly understanding why. Imagine for a moment waking up with your smartphone charged to a full 100% battery. Throughout the day, you thoughtlessly open 20 different applications. You leave every single one of them running in the background. You crank up the screen brightness to maximum. You never bother to close anything. You endlessly scroll through feeds. You play music continuously all day long, and crucially, you never plug it in to recharge. By 3 p.m., your phone's battery is inevitably dead. Now vividly realize, that phone is you. Here's how to actively protect and cultivate your personal energy. Utilize the energy filter. Before engaging in any activity, consciously pause and ask yourself, will this action feed my energy or drain it? Is this person genuinely helping me grow, or are they merely complaining and bringing me down? Is this task truly aligned with my fundamental goals, or is it just keeping me pointlessly busy? Is this food going to give me sustained energy, or will it cause me to crash and feel sluggish? Is this thought empowering me, or is it exhausting my mental reserves? Learn to definitively say no to these insidious energy leaks. Fiercely protect your internal battery. Create a powerful energy ritual every single morning. Instead of allowing your day to descend into immediate chaos, purposefully begin it with a deliberate sense of peace. Take 2 minutes to practice deep, conscious breathing. Gently stretch your body. Drink a full glass of water. Then speak one potent affirmative sentence aloud, such as, "Today, I choose focus. I choose strength. I choose peace." This isn't a soft practice. It is, in fact, an essential form of mental armor for the day ahead. Clean your mental desk. Do you know what silently burns through your precious energy? Open loops, unfinished tasks, unsent messages, decisions you continually delay, and lingering guilt you never truly release. All these things reside in your brain, constantly running like background applications on your phone. Every day, dedicate just 5 minutes to ask yourself, what do I need to finish or forgive today? Close those mental tabs. Feel the profound sense of peace and mental clarity return. Protect your sacred space like a temple. This applies to your physical room, your mental landscape, and your calendar. Do not permit garbage to enter these vital areas. Stop keeping people in your life simply out of a sense of obligation because you've known them for a long time. If they consistently drain your energy and spirit, they have no rightful place in your future. Embrace the profound power of silence. Seek out the healing solace of nature. Establish and uphold sacred personal boundaries. You don't need to be some sort of superhero. You simply need to stop the continuous bleeding of your precious energy. You can possess the kindest, most compassionate heart, but if you fail to vigilantly protect your energy, the world will relentlessly take from you until there is absolutely nothing left. So, starting today, empower yourself to say no without guilt. Allow yourself to rest without shame. Build your dreams without apology. Breathe deeply and deliberately without hurry. Love wholeheartedly without ever losing yourself in the process. Because at the end of your life, you won't meticulously remember every single thing you did, but you will vividly remember how you felt. Therefore, consciously build a life that inherently feels light, strong, and true to your deepest self. Protect your energy, because that, fundamentally, is where your entire life truly begins. Let's all take a moment now. Take a deep, cleansing breath and allow everything you've just heard to truly sink deep into your soul. Because these weren't merely superficial tips, they were profound reminders. Reminders that your time on this earth is not infinite. Reminders that your inner peace is undeniably worth protecting with fierce dedication. Reminders that your most cherished dreams still matter deeply. And powerful reminders that your body, your heart, and your energy are not mere tools to be exploited. They are sacred aspects of your being. And if no one has told you lately, please know this: you are absolutely allowed to start over. You are allowed to grow slowly at your own pace. You are allowed to protect your sacred space and energy. You are allowed to live a life that genuinely feels right and authentic to you. Not a life that is perfect, but one that is undeniably true. And perhaps you won't manage to change everything overnight. Perhaps you might even forget some of these insights tomorrow. And that's perfectly okay. If even one sentence from this message resonated deeply with you, if even one solitary idea ignited a spark of courage within you, then the time we've shared here was unequivocally not wasted. Because that, ultimately, is what life truly is, a collection of precious moments where your soul vividly remembers who you genuinely are. And this very moment right now could indeed be the profound beginning of the rest of your life. So, choose to spend it wisely. If this message touched you in any way, I am profoundly thankful that you were here to experience it. I crafted this with unwavering honesty, with immense care, and with all my heart, and I truly hope you felt that sincerity in every single word. If you did, please consider subscribing to this channel, because it's not about chasing fleeting trends. It's about seeking and sharing timeless truths. It's about empowering you to live better, to feel deeper, and to speak stronger. And if you are currently learning English, I hope you now see that your journey to fluency is not just about mastering grammar rules. It's deeply interwoven with life, emotion, wisdom, and authentic expression. You're not just learning English, you're learning how to live fully and how to speak fearlessly. Thank you for your valuable time. Thank you for opening your heart. Thank you for being a part of this meaningful moment. God bless you, and go forth. Live the life that truly belongs to you before it's too late.